A study by a consortium, including the University of Ghana's Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, has revealed that Ghana's exports were undervalued by an estimated $8.3 billion between 2011 and 2017. The study, spanning 3 political administrations, also revealed that the country lost more than $2 billion in taxes due to undervaluation of gold exports alone. ISSER and its partners, including the Graduate Institute of Geneva, undertook the study as part of the Curbing Illicit Financial Flows research project funded by the Swiss Program for Research on Global Issues for Development. Presenting details of the study, senior economics researcher at ISSER and member of the research team, Dr. Ama Ahene Kujo, indicated the project used a novel method to gather data from the GRA and other government agencies. The revelation about tax and revenue losses due to IFFs is critical when you consider the fact that gold accounts for most of Ghana's mineral exports. In 2017, gold accounted for 96.4% of total earning from mineral exports from Ghana, she said. Joining me via Zoom for more on this conversation is Professor Carbonia, the principal researcher of the Swiss-funded project, and Dr. Fred Janku, a member of the research team. They both join us via Zoom. I'm grateful for your time, gentlemen. Let's begin with you, Dr. Fred Janku, with the details of the research we're talking about.
Well, thank you very much for having me. So basically, this research was about how we can reduce trade-related illicit financial flows in Ghana. And to be more concrete, we focused on gold and cocoa. But today, because most of the illicit financial flows were in the gold sector, we decided to talk more about what we found in the gold sector.
All right, so you're talking about devaluation of the gold sector. That's right? Is that right?
Not devaluation. So basically what we are doing is that if you take the gold that we export from Ghana, you know that Ghana gets revenues from taxes as a result of the gold that we export. So the value of the gold that you export or that is declared determines the proportion of taxes that you get for government as revenue. So if that gold is undervalued, then of course the proportion of tax revenue or the taxes that you get from the gold will also be less than it should be. So that is our concern. How do we make sure that we get the value for our gold in order to finance our development?
What did your research reveal was accounting for this devaluation?
So let me say again, so it's basically undervaluation. We found that some of the gold, the value of the gold, that when you compare what goes out from Ghana to what is reported in the international market, there is a discrepancy. And so that discrepancy that we are classifying as undervaluation, which affects our tax base. And what accounts for that, there are a number of factors, one of which can just be data discrepancies. Another one could be the content of gold that is actually in the product that we are exporting. So if you export what you declare as gold, it's assumed that it's almost 99% or more gold content. But if actually it is not, then that can also account for this undervaluation. But we took all that into account to get very conservative estimates, if you like, lower bound estimates of what the undervaluation actually is.
Let's look at how you came by the Ghana story. I'm talking about the figures that concludes Ghana's current situation. How did we get here?
So, well, I don't want to sound too technical, but we look actually at transaction level data, so daily transactions of gold that were exported from Ghana. Compare that with the the values that are declared internationally. And then we do a number of other take other things into consideration, as I said before, the purity of gold, etc., in order to have an estimate of how much Ghana may be losing as a result of undervaluation of gold exports. And to put this in context, it's important because of the issues that are going on currently in the country about raising more revenue for Ghana. And we know that we are currently talking about issues of e-levy and so on. And so this research is critical because we are just providing also another option for the country to raise more revenue. If we're able to tighten up our systems, we're able to put in place the regulatory system that are needed and implement them, then we are more likely to get more revenue from our exports than we are currently getting.
Let me bring in Prof. Prof, what really inspired this research?
Well, thanks a lot for having me, and I just listened to your program on this very tragic blast that you had, and I wish to convey our condolences to all the victims and their families. Now, this being said, what triggered our research is very simple. You had international research showing that because trade in commodities was undervalued, you had illicit financial flows that would amount to about 4% of the world's GDP and 6% of Africa's GDP, eroding the tax base of African countries. And since now it is critical to enable African countries to mobilize domestic resources for their own development, we decided to have an international consortium with our Ghanaian partners here at the University of Ghana, ISSER, to really understand how much of the gold or cocoa or other exports are undervalued and what is the impact on the taxes that are levied. And on that basis, we are working with legal experts, with policymakers on solutions to try to reduce and curb this phenomenon so that Ghana, like other commodity exporters, are able to benefit fully from their exports to mobilize domestic resources, tax resources for development. And this is what has triggered our research. And we are working with all the stakeholders, governments, private sector, non-governmental organizations, to try to implement solutions at the very moment where we have a global reform of the tax system at the global level. So I think it's very timely, and it's a big opportunity to redress the situation and allow Ghana, like other commodity exporting countries, to fully benefit.
I think we have a connection.
From, their...
Go ahead, Prof. Go ahead, Prof. The line is better.
Okay, the line is better. Sorry for this. So I was saying that indeed we are getting results that help policymakers to take action so that we can curb and reduce illicit financial flows, and it allows policymakers to take innovative solutions.
All right, so you have Professor Gilles Carbonnier. He is the lead researcher with the Swiss project. We also heard from Dr. Janku, who is a member of the research team. And that'll be it for The Pulse this afternoon. Many thanks for watching.